And here we are yet again for another thrilling adventure in the tales of the kobolds. Last time, as you all ventured into the depths of the Reggae Glacier in search of this long-lost city of Ythrin, fallen from the sky far too long ago, you encountered many strange things in these caverns. You encountered a strange magical contraption that lets you gaze around with an arcane eye to peer around in the various nooks and crannies of the caverns, to which you found several places that you most likely should not go, such as a Remoraz-infested, steamy cavern to the south. But you also found something of interest. You found, apparently, one of those strange proto-kobolds, perhaps vampire, making its way to the caverns to the east. You ventured over this way, trying to find some sense of where to go, when you were besieged by a dozen shadowy figures, all reaching out to you. You were ambushed, but thankfully you prevailed. But before you could regain your composure after a battle was well fought, you heard that same cackling laughter that had echoed throughout the caverns before. Royals and toils all around the entirety of the inside of this cavern. So much so that it reverberates through your very skulls. And as you regain your composure, I would like everyone to make perception checks.
Once D20 loads it.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I should not have had advantage there, so that's a 10.
Well, I think we're good. We're good here because
We've perceived things.
you
We perceive the shit out of the sky.
You perceive everything.
Well, I mean, I've already had my arcane eye through here, so it's like, I know the ins and outs of this cave, so...
That's true, you do. What's more, though, it seems as if your instincts are still on edge and you're just itching for another fight. Or at the very least, you're prepared for anything that would pounce on you unseen after you were so rudely and abruptly ambushed. And as such, you see that same mist. Hold on a different layer. That same mist slowly eking its way out of this cavern and then rushing down this way.
I think our vampire friend went down that way.
Professor Orby.
Hold on, let me retrieve him. I've stuffed him back in my pocket to make sure he didn't fall out. Professor?
Right.
Yes, I'm still here.
Can vampires be hurt when they do the thing where they turn to mist?
They can, although they do have some resistances to normal weaponry, although... I'm trying to remember...
Oh. Shit, you rolled a natural 20. Let me double check.
Oh boy.
Hang on. Man, off the bat, 320s at the start of the session. Man, we're on a good time tonight.
It can only go down from here.
Don't say that!
Oh.
Don't say that!
Both of you just cease. Both of you cursing the session.
I need to double check.
Well, usually, when it comes to vampires, usually they only tend to mist when they're not quite defeated, but when their physical form has been ruptured enough. I don't suppose this one was damaged, at least not that I can tell. If it's already in its current form like that, it must be able to do so at will. Then again, certain vampires are able to have such power, but usually only the more elder ones. Ones with more age behind them.
I mean, this place has been sealed for ages, right?
That is true, so it's very likely we might be dealing with an elder vampire. I perish the thought. Of course, then again... Oh, my apologies, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was merely going to say that if these kobolds were in fact vampires, perhaps they are thralls or pawns of this elder. It would make sense.
Well, that's... I guess that's a better possibility than all of them being elder vampires.
Oh, most assuredly not. Such a thing is quite rare. Usually, when vampires are created, they prefer to keep their thralls as thralls. If one were to my knowledge, if one were to ingest the blood of their elder, their sire, as it were, then they would too become an ancient, or rather, become a lord as their master was. Of course, to do so would be to create unnecessary competition and strife. So it would be very unlikely. Hopefully.
What if there was nothing else to eat?
If there is nothing, well, vampires, well, they can survive without blood, technically, for long periods of time. Of course, to do so, it incurs great degeneration, physical features, but not with their personal strength, merely with their physical appearance, as well as their mental faculties. Craving blood, almost to the point of madness, well, although they can retain some of their mental faculties.
Do they do anything to the area around themselves when they have a lord with them?
Usually, an elder vampire has some sort of effect on the environment around it, given its power, much like dragons are capable of doing so. Although, usually, to my knowledge, as such, it might vary from vampire to vampire, but usually there's, fog, increased presence of vermin, such snakes, spiders, along those lines. But we don't see. We obviously haven't seen any sort of something like that here, which makes me think it must have some other effect on the environment. But we haven't seen such an effect. At least
I wonder if those shadows are part of it.
It might be. It might.
Maybe the skeletons.
That would not surprise me. It might be a unique sort of vampire, especially if it's been trapped down here for so long.
I appreciate it. This is a great opportunity for science. But we are going to blow it up.
Indeed, and I shall be here to witness it. Carry on.
And the villain will just kind of place Professor Scant back in her pocket. Well, I, for one, do not wish to tangle with any vampires, but should you willingly head right into another ambush, I will be right in the back.
I was thinking, it knows we're here. We're probably the first living things it's seen in thousands of years. There's no way it's not going to attack us at some point.
Hey, you want some lunch? Something like that. Draw it out.
Mm-hmm.
To Professor Scant's knowledge, what he's mentioned is As he's been with my family for generations, he has mentioned such things to me before. They are usually too intelligent to fall for such simple tricks, but perhaps it might work. Difficult to say.
Is there anything that like really, really makes them mad? Generally,
Son, you hear a muffle from the pocket. Sunlight. Besides the obvious, Miss Professor, it brings it back out. Oh well, it depends on the vampire, but anything that they disliked in life, obviously, they do. Vampires do present some. It's difficult to say. Some scholars believe that their old self remains true in their new form, but it's heavily argued that the new form, the vampire form, is a parasite that is simply a shell of its former self. You too, Meepo, with that religion check, you get kind of the same vibe. It's difficult to say one way or the other, like what kind of what kind of thing a vampire would hate the most besides sunlight. Other than the normal weaknesses, I would say you would know that vampires usually. Well, yeah, I'll get to that in a second. You would know that vampires usually cannot enter a home without being invited in. You also, of course, would know about that specific weakness of being unable to cross flowing water, and this is like specifically to some such things as rivers.
If we can make a little river or something, we can like barricade somebody behind it and keep the vampires from getting through there. And then anybody who wants to be in melee can be on the other side, and can have all the people who are not melee kind of behind the little river of water. I don't think it has to be very big. I don't know how big it has to be. But I've got a spell for that.
You would get the sense it has to be long enough for it to not be able to cross. Like long. I would say it would have to be wider, maybe slightly wider than 5 feet. Lengthwise, it wouldn't matter, but like widthwise, it'd be slightly wider than 5 feet.
I'm not casting it, I'm showing it.
Of course.
okay. Weird idea. If I were to take a metal object and like embed it into the ice and then cast heat metal on it,
Mm-hmm.
how much of like a flow could I make? I wonder. Because that's like a second level spell instead of a fourth level one, so it's.
It is true. It is a second level spell. It's let's see. If we're thinking about how the spell operates, it activates as a bonus action. So like every 6 seconds, you can activate it. If it would be enough to get perhaps a small flow going, but I would say it would be nowhere near enough to cause like a river. It would be enough to melt the ice for sure, but it would be an extended period of time. How long does it last for?
Like a minute, I think.
A minute?
Let me check.
Yeah, if it's a minute.
Yeah, up to 1 minute. Yeah, no.
I'm trying to think. No, it's a good idea. I'm trying to think of like it's because it's hard to like. Obviously I love it's a creative idea. I'm just trying to think of like how much it would actually do given this scenario and the time it's active.
It probably I would think with a minute. Probably.
Would the size of the metal object change it?
Maybe. What
What about the big flying ships?
I think there is a like size limit. I don't know what it is offhand. Hang on. I'll just post it. The class. The spell description.
Make sure that didn't remove your spell slot when you put it up.
Can it do that?
Let's see. Choose a manufactured metal
Sometimes it
I
object.
think
does.
it did, actually.
Interesting that it says a manufactured metal object. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Such as a metal weapon or medium metal armor.
It doesn't actually have some sort of...
It doesn't have a size limit, but it does have the limit that it has to be manufactured.
Which is still, like, interesting.
That is interesting here.
What type of golem head is this?
It is an iron golem head. It's in size-wise, it's not quite large. I'd say it's around medium-sized. So it's practically the size. Honestly, it would be the size. Its head alone is like the size of like a full human in a plate of armor. Oddly enough. That could, if it was the Iron Golem's head, that might create just enough to get like, I wouldn't say it'll go the full way, but that would be enough to get you started.
And if we get it started, could I use my spell on it and then make it bigger?
Let's see, any freestanding water in the area. Let me double check that. Judging from the wording, it might be cause the water level of all standing water in the air to rise as much as 20 feet. It doesn't create water that I'm seeing. It just
Right. That's why I'm saying if we get the water from the.
Yes, you'd be able to move that just fine when it's melted. Like that would be easy enough. But I'm just trying to trying to use mental gymnastics to figure out how much water you would get out of it.
Fair.
It's not wrong.
The Iron Golem was helping us, so why wouldn't we help it?
So since this isn't covered by any specific
It's
ruling,
so broken.
here's what I'm gonna do. If you want, roll for me in a spell casting check. So this will be using your intelligence and adding your proficiency modifier. And the higher you get, the more water I'm gonna have coming out of this.
Intelligence or
Yes.
charisma?
Intelligence, because that's spellcasting modifier.
I mean wisdom.
Okay, so once we do this...
Well, my spellcasting modifier is wisdom.
No, I'm this is for Skanuk, because he's using the heat metal.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'm saying, like, once we do this, we're gonna have a minute for the heat metal to go. Is that, like, do we want to just, like, go in now? Or do we want to, like, try and figure out a way to lure it in, or what?
Maybe we get the vampires chasing us, have it chase us into that room, and then have an ambush set up in that room. I mean, I'm really fast on my feet, so I could be the one to draw it.
Yeah, because, like, I like this plan. I just want to know what the full thing is before we start it.
So here's my proposal. If I cast Sanctuary on myself, find the vampire and get it to chase after us, or chase after me, you guys set up in there, and you get ready to cast the spell on the golem head, or you can cast it just a little bit before I get in there, and you start hearing me. And then after it's melted some, I'll use my spell to make it go bigger, and block off and protect those of us who are staying back, Velen and Skanuk. And then those of you who are going to be in the front, you guys can fight it hand to hand while we do what we can from the back lines helping you out. And if that works, that works. If it doesn't, we'll just do what we normally do and beat it how we normally do.
Fair enough. Could you make the water flow in a circle around it?
I think so. I can control the flow.
Well, that sounds fun. All right. Yeah, I guess everyone's cool with that.
Works for me.
All right.
Well then, all right. go ahead and get into your positions. Because I can see he's already in his position.
Prepare to open fire.
Yeah, so I would need to be on the other side of the helmet, right?
Right.
Let me see here. Going to need the full map for this. Alright, so.
This is a really mean plan, by the way. If it works out how we're hoping.
I love it. The only thing I wish was different is that we had a much bigger room to fight it in, so I could fireball its ass. But
Yeah,
you can fireball it as it comes in.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, no, because you gotta wait. Oh, yeah, because I'll give you like a warning as I'm coming up, so that you know that it's coming. You can start the heat metal.
Yeah,
and
I can
then
see.
On the next turn, you can.
And I
I'll
can
just
see
yell.
down this hallway, so I could like when I see it around the corner.
Yep.
Is there anywhere that you want me? Villain kind of pipes up.
Um.
I'm gonna let them decide.
Well,
that
wherever
one.
you want to be, I guess.
Well, I want to at least be somewhat helpful. I can cast magic missiles. I don't think it my necrotic energy will be of help any help here. Perhaps. I can cast message if we need to send out a signal.
Well, if you want to.
Are you alright?
Well, if you want, there's this like tunnel down here. I was gonna hide in it. Can probably cast it over my head without much difficulty.
Alright, I'll get behind you then. Alright.
So as they leave, I cast invisibility on myself,
Okay.
so that I can basically sneak up on them and find them without them getting.
In that case, Skunnock, are you currently casting heat metal?
Yes, I will go ahead and cast heat metal.
Okay, in that case, while you're kind of like in the middle of the process, go ahead and roll for me an intelligence check with your proficiency bonus added.
Okay, intelligence proficiency. Let's see.
You would not.
20 plus. There. 20.
Soft 20. Okay. Automatically, a tiny little trickle begins to form at the base of the golem, which of course, as you start to coat, as the golem just burns with this fierce hot red color, its its eyes begin to blink rapidly. But it's clear, you have begun a very heavy flow. So you'll get back to how much you actually get when good old Meepo gets back. So Meepo, while they're in the middle of doing that and preparing, which direction are you going in as you head into this cavern over here?
So I rolled a natural 20 and I saw it going this way. Let me.
Yes, you
saw
saw
it going
it.
this way.
Yes, you saw it going this way. And I will add, as you're getting in that direction, you hear.
I'm going at a regular pace, but I'm looking for
You're looking
traps
for.
as I go,
you're looking
and
for
I'm also
traps.
trying to be stealthy. It's kind of, I guess I'd go slowly and look for traps as I go.
Slowly?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, roll 2 checks for me. Roll a perception check, and then roll a stealth check.
Perception should be normal since I'm going slowly and it's dark and I have dark vision.
You do. So, let me first get the book. Here.
And the stealth is at advantage because I'm invisible.
That is correct. Meanwhile, back to you, Skunnock. You just see a I don't know 3 times. It seems to be in distress. Oh, soft 20. Quite good, quite good. Okay.
It's like slowly grows a body out of the next stump.
A tiny little Mechanical body, just like way too undersized for the head. Apologize, I'm trying to find the page. One sec. I literally had the place just a moment ago. Ah, here we go. As you head towards this direction right here, Meepo, you will just as your nostrils be assaulted with the stench of death. And that yipping sound, a familiar sound, the sound of kobolds yipping. It gets louder. And you will see 6 of these strange figures, all humped with these large humped backs, and almost anorexic looking skeletal bodies, and that faint visage that resembles a kobold. Clearly at one point was a kobold, but has since been changed into something else.
Can I see the one that's misting?
Currently, you see a faint mist hovering up above, about maybe 10 feet or so in the air, hanging near the ceiling of the cavern, apparently lying in wait. And these kobolds are all just kind of like snapping and yipping at each other. And you will hear up above.
Does it sound like it's speaking?
Let me double check just to be sure. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. What languages do you know, Meepo?
I just posted that.
Let's see here. Okay. Common, draconic self, and the dwarvish. For a second, you think that it's merely just a mix of grunting, laughing, squealing, snarling. But there is a specific pitch and resonance that makes you think it might actually be a language, but you have no idea. You have never heard this language. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. Actually, no, you would have heard this language before because you had an encounter with these creatures before. You hear a language that sounds very similar to the gnolls that you encountered out in the dale.
Gnoll vampire, that's gross.
Ew.
Currently, it seems to be snarling at these kobolds, and all the kobolds begin to cower and all just kind of like scamper to different sides of the cavern. You watch, though, as these kobolds move with a surprising amount of strength. Like, despite their small stature, they almost, with how they kind of pounce onto the ice, each individual step has a great, how do I describe this? It almost sounds, with each step that they make, they are heavier than they look. Or they are jumping with such force that they are creating a larger impact in the ice. So they're a lot stronger than they look, is all I'll say.
Okay, I'm going to yell out, "Hey, you mangy vampire kobolds and you stupid gnoll! In the name of Eldath, get wrecked!" And then I'm gonna turn visible and cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to dash away
Okay.
after I like wave at them, make sure they see me.
I will say, we're gonna roll initiative here, but as a quote-unquote surprise round, you will be able to dash away as your first turn.
Okay.
Let me put that up here.
Initiative. I don't think I should have advantage. Okay, good.
And let's see here.
That's a good initiative for now. So let's see. My movement speed is 40, so 80 is the total movement right now.
Oh gosh, you have much more movement speed than I thought you did.
I'm mobile, baby.
Yeah, mobile.
Well, welcome to my hell, Evan.
Oh ho.
What? I don't have mobile.
I know, but you're fast.
That's true.
So I'll get to there,
Oh man, they don't...
basically.
240-foot movement speed.
Look, that's only if I'm moving max movement. That's if I'm double dashing. Okay, that's using everything. Only. All right. Oh, interesting. He also gets +4. This makes sense considering he just kind of came out of nowhere.
I also put Sanctuary on myself.
Yes, you did mention that.
Good move.
Excellent move. Excellent move.
I'm like, even if I do like get attacked, I want to at least have the advantage of Sanctuary keeping them from hitting me every time, hopefully.
Indeed, indeed.
That's the goal.
Excuse me.
Meepo accidentally has a perfect build for drawing aggro and then kiting things into traps. Great, the perfect kobold scout.
Indeed. Let me just roll for villain here. Villain. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's everybody's. Canuck scale, Meepo Hawks. Yes, there we go.
The mist is still a mist, right?
Oh, it is.
Okay.
It's just I have it on the GM layer currently. Well, with that, let me switch the music up. Some wonderful music by the wonderful and talented Travis Savoy. So, Meepo, as part of your surprise round, you may move and cast Sanctuary.
And I do so.
Okay. Let's see here.
And at the end of my move, I'm gonna say, "Incoming!"
Indeed. Hold on, I skipped over. One moment. Alright, so with that... At the top of the initiative at the surprise round, Scales, you hear Meepo around the corner, further in the tunnels, saying, "Incoming!"
So, with knowledge that we all basically have with the that vampires work in such ways, I'm gonna move my speed over this way. And from here, I'm gonna cast a spell. It's a major image. And that image is going to be a duplicate of the cottage that everyone found me in, though slightly smaller to accompany to fit inside this this area, and it will have a door facing south and a door facing west. And the doors will be open for Meepo. Anything else, if it's vampire, I would have to invite it in for it to pass by this specific area. That is if it believes it to be a house and not an illusion.
Well, this will be something.
What?
Huh.
I didn't even see that coming.
Hang on.
Meepo was gonna like be shocked when she turns the corner.
Hang on one sec. I want to see if I can find like a token of a house somewhere. I'm curious now. I mean, obviously, yeah, that'll work for now, but I'm just like, I'm curious if I could find.
Oh.
One moment. I have to know. From the web. It's not ideal. How's that?
That works.
There it is. Your white background JPEG have a house. There you go. All right. Is that your turn, Scales?
That is my turn.
All right, Skinnock, it's now your turn. So now we get to come back to how much you've progressed. As you as you've been concentrating this entire time, trying to get a flow to begin, you rolled really well. So currently, let me see here. I'm gonna get a tiny little sphere. Let's see. Area of effect template. You get that much water.
Oh.
It's kind of like it's a more of a thin layer. It's kind of spreading around. Like it's probably like no more like an inch
Right, yeah.
deep, but it's beginning to kind of pool around the base of the golem head.
But it's like flowing out from the golem head, right?
Yes, it's flowing outward from the golem head.
Pretty good. That counts.
I guess. Yeah, I was planning to like hold action to put a fireball in that corner when they came around it, but I can't really do that now. I don't know what to do.
It's a very nice looking house.
It is. I guess like if they come through it, I'll shoot at them with firebolt instead.
Okay. So you're holding your
Yeah,
action.
like I'm not. I don't really want to like even if like I don't really want to put a fireball in there with if Scales is in there. I guess.
Right, you don't want to dispel the illusion either by saying like, oh, why did the fire go through the house? You don't want to
Yeah,
ruin that as well.
yeah. I guess I could hold.
They may
like,
not have the
scorching-
movement to get here either.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just like hold scorching ray.
Hold scorching ray. Okay, got it. Meepo.
I'm going to continue my mad dash out of the vampire's little lair back there. Wait, let me go back to where I was so I can count. 15. Taking like the 40 feet going into the house and going, what is this, Scales? And then keeping running through. Way to go. That's exactly what I needed.
It was just a hunch, but it's also just kind of a stopgap.
Fair enough. So I'm ending up right next to good old Skinnock. I'm getting ready to turn towards the water and get my spell ready for the next turn. Hopefully the stopgap helps that.
We'll see. Hux Hagnar.
Let me see if I have any bonus actions. Really quick.
Before that, yeah, your thing. Any bonus actions?
That's an action, okay. I don't think I do have one. Double checking on this here. Nope. Looks like we're just gonna end my turn there.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, Hux Hagnar, it is your turn.
So where I'm standing, if he started making the water move to get our flowing water criteria met, would I be affected by that?
Why would you be affected by it?
So I'm kind of standing in that radius right now.
Well, it's just water, so it's not affecting
It's like a
you.
trickle.
Yeah, it's a trickle. Like you are standing in the water, but like it's not.
I'm just saying, if he's using control water, the effects can sometimes, push stuff around. And...
Oh, I see.
I'll make sure to avoid you.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe he can be specific enough that it can go around you. And plus, water is pretty free flowing, so it shouldn't affect you, to my knowledge.
Okay. Well, in that case, even if it does, it'll probably be strength stuff. So I might as well just go big. And if I'm too big to not get affected by it, I'll just have enough strength to, like, not.
All right. Boop, 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 boop.
And from where I am right now, I am going to grab my battle axe and raise it in the air and hold my action for anything to pass by.
Excellent. So, just so you are aware, these tunnels are meant for medium creatures, so if you do go through here, you will be squeezing. I don't think you are intending to go there, but just that is something you should know.
That's fine.
Okay, just letting you know. So now it is the creature's turns. Yeah, they're gonna dash their way through. They do have some speed, but begin to scatter. That is what they will do. You currently do not see where they are at the moment. All you know is that they are behind that corner. And something else begin to move. I will roll something on the side. Okay. That's what it does on its turn. Secret. It's now Valin's turn. She is simply going to wait at the ready in case she is needed. Brings us back to the top of the round. Scales.
Okay, still concentrating on this. From here. I will hold my action to I can't hold my action as a bonus action, right?
Correct. It has to be your whole. It has to be an action, a reaction. Your bonus action is not counted in this.
Okay.
Rather, it's used up as part of it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move this way. 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna bonus action use my Unfailing Words ability. And say something. I'm at a loss role-playing wise on what to say to these creatures.
You're not welcome, something like that.
Yeah. You are not welcome here.
I like to think that like Scales is like actually struggling. And you see Meepo's head pops out from the side, and it just makes the suggestion.
So -1 to the next saving throw that that guy would make.
Alrighty, let me mark them so I don't forget.
And then, as an action, I will move back up into the house area as a dash action to be able to make it back in.
Gotcha.
And that'll be my turn.
Okie dokie. In that case, Ganaka, is now back to your turn. They're taking longer than you anticipated. Are you muted, Mike? Oh, there you are.
No, I'm here, I think. Yeah. I guess I'm going to, you know what? I'll take the hide act.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll that stealth check for me then.
Okay, I let's see. I have the feat that makes medium armor not an issue for that, and I have a cloak of elvenkind, so I'm actually quite good at it. So I should theoretically be good at this.
You should have advantage then. Oh, 23. You see Valena go, alright, Skanuk, what's the signal? Skanuk? She looks around.
Wait for the fire.
Alright, so that is your turn. Meepo, that means it is your turn again.
Alright. Well, I think we're dealing with a were-null. Or something. Sounded like a null.
A what?
Let me get this spell started here. Control water. I'm going to have it do something like this. Going this direction. So that it goes along the wall there and blocks off that path. It's gonna like swirl almost like a drain where it's going like around the head.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's in a vortex kind of motion.
Right.
Let's see here.
It's not quite the whirlpool.
Right, you're just kind of like having it.
Redirecting the flow.
You're redirecting the flow. Gotcha. So it's currently, so you're moving it just slightly this way.
And I think I can change which one it does.
You can.
Yeah, I can choose another one as an action. So I'm concentrating on that. And then I'm going to back up just a bit so that I can't be seen as easily.
Yeah. As you kind of shout that out, he's like, "What? No, that's not the... Oh no.
Nullpire.
Oh no." But that's
I
unfortunately
don't
he can't say
know
much
how
on
they
his turn.
feel about flowing water.
He can't say it's because it's not his turn. So, that's your turn. Hawk Sagnar?
That's a good question. What am I trying to do here? There's a part of me that kind of wants to set up one of the things that I have not gotten a chance to use, even though it's been in my arsenal for a while. Considering that I don't know how long it's going to be until stuff gets here, and I'm probably now aware of the house. I was probably not aware of it in the previous turn before I went large. That gives me some idea that I might have time and I don't have to be ready to chop right away. In which case, I'm going to actually use one of the effects of the Ice Rune on my Ice Rune boots. I'm going to use the Icy Mantle on myself. So the next time I take bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage in the next minute, that damage is reduced to 0.
Interesting, okay.
And I'm just going to have that active for the time being. I think I had a thing in here to track that. Yes, I do. Cool. So that will be my use of the Icy Mantle. And, yeah, I'm going to use one of my little wheel thingies as a tracker of rounds. So I have 10 rounds of Icy Mantle left. And for a bonus action, because we're still doing bonus actions and stuff, considering that the Professor Orb seemed at least a little bit worried about this, I'm actually going to go ahead and keep my Storm Rune active as well. I'm going to activate all sorts of runes.
Oh, jeez.
So, an action for the Mantle, and a bonus action for the Storm Rune to enter a prophetic state for 1 minute until I'm incapacitated. When myself or another creature I can see within 60 feet of me makes an attack roll, a saving throw, or an ability check, I can use my reaction to cause the roll to have advantage or disadvantage. So yes, I am now covered in a layer of ice, and my eyes are glowing as I see slightly into the future.
You are a veritable aura full of giant kind, just surrounding your entire person. You could practically hear giants chanting in the background.
Can't wait until I can go huge instead of just large. and then imagine if someone hits me within large.
Oh gosh.
Gargantuan kobold.
Gargantuan baby! But in any case, is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. It's now the spawn's turn. So this boyo is gonna skid right there, scampering down on all fours. You suddenly see from around the corner, Scales, this terrifying little creature resembling one of your kind suddenly starts to crawl, bones crackling, climbing on the wall like a spider, and hisses at you. It does suddenly stop, though, as it sees the house. Yeah, it just looks confused more than anything, like after that terrifying display. Let's see these boyos. I can get gotta scamper up this way. Cover. Around there.
You're either coming to us or going to the Remorazes.
Let's see. There was one more. It's going to tentatively come around the corner here. Then it's their turn. They've done all they can do. And then it's someone else's turn. That individual is moved. Actually, let me double check how much they can move, just to be certain. Just to be certain. Okay, good to know. Okay. So that's that individual's turn. Now it's Valin's turn. And she suddenly gets like a sudden like ringing in her ear, like, hold on, Professor. She kind of brings up the orb. Lads, I have terrible news. You're dealing with a null vampire. That's bad news for 2 reasons. Number 1, the flowing water won't work. And neither will the house. They're not tied to the realms as other vampires are. Shit! The good news is the kobolds will be. So, there you go.
Oh. Well, that's awkward.
But do the gnolls know that?
We'll see. In any case, Velen is simply going to...
They don't follow the rules, they're gnolls.
Exactly. She's going to hold her action for a magic missile, although, let's see. She's going to have to actually... She will actually need to step out a little bit. Just gonna go into this nook and cranny to get a better view. She'll hold her action for a magic missile. Scales, it is now back to you. You see this creature, once full of hatred and hissing, suddenly skids to a stop along the wall. Seeing this, and terribly confused, thinking it didn't see that the other day. What do you do? Okay. As you launch this bolt of fire, it scampers up along the wall and hisses at you.
One moment.
I missed.
Or did you?
Here's the thing. When a creature within 60 feet of me that I can see makes an attack roll, saving throw, and ability check, I can use my advantage to have the roll have advantage or disadvantage. So roll that again. Because I would see you in the house through the open door that you presented for us in Meepo. And I would see you making the thing. So, that would have done a lot more damage, but it's also probably not much better.
Unfortunately, as you kind of like begin to cast the bolt, you will hear a loud giants chanting, "Hurrah!" As suddenly the bolt gets kind of like mixed in with a bolt of lightning, but you're almost like ah! You kind of like almost as you try and shoot it, it scatters to the side as all the kobolds also duck under cover from the unexpected blast, and unfortunately did not find purchase.
Drat.
Unfortunate. Is that your turn, or would you like to move?
That's my turn.
Alright, Skanuk, it is your turn. You begin to hear the scampering and hissing of different tiny little forms coming your way. They're getting closer.
Okay. So Scales is like way ahead? Where is Scales?
Scales is down over here.
Okay, I think his token's in a different spot for me. No biggie.
Oh, well, 20 just be like that sometimes lately.
Yeah, if they're getting closer, I guess I will hold an action to Firebolt.
Gotcha.
Yeah, first vampire I see.
Alright. Meepo.
Well, if the kobolds can't get through the door, then they'll all bunch up there, and you can fireball them later.
That'd be great.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna drop concentration on the water if we need it. Should I? Any input?
On the shape water? I guess
Yeah,
if it's
should I
not
drop it?
gonna be...
Keep
Yeah,
it!
might as
It'll
well.
be good for the little ones, not the big one!
Okay.
Oh,
Never mind.
okay. Thanks, Professor. I'm gonna.
You're welcome, it was a good plan!
And I don't know. Let me see if I have a bonus action other than Sanctuary. Nobody's hurt, are they?
I am.
Okay, then I'll healing word.
Okay.
I guess I'd have to move over to here to see. Double checking on Scales. Oh, yep, he looks a little injured. Roll 1d4 plus 5. Nice. Max. 9 healing to you. And then I move back.
Okay. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Alright. Hogs Hagnar, it's back to you. They still haven't quite come around, but they are quite close now.
Well, I think for the time being, I don't want to use any other bonus action things, so I will hold my action and keep my axe raised, ready for something to walk down this hallway.
Okie dokie. So now it is the kobold spawn's turn. They begin to approach, scampering up one at a time. the lead when the lead once in the lead at the moment of this line begins to kind of inspect the doorway. He's like, confused. It clearly has not seen this before, and yet here it is before it, a house which it seems reluctant to enter. I am going to have it make a check. What's your spell save DC?
16 intelligence.
16. So this is it's an investigation check to determine that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's gonna be a -1.
Major Image has never seen such a funny use.
It really hasn't.
Actually, it
Or-
probably has. But this is a great use.
You'll see it actually begins to cough out in Draconic. We cannot enter. Turn back. We'll start retreating down this way. We will go the long way. Master, please don't hurt us. It's not our fault. We can't get through. To which, it becomes the master's turn. Hey, Scales. You will watch as a terrifying figure comes around the corner. The mist that you had seen before begins to take shape into that of a fiend that looks like a gnoll. Its maw is caked in crimson. Its claws are long, tattered, and wretched. Its fur is matted, and you can smell, almost overpoweringly, the stench of death on its person. And it now comes towards you, arms outstretched. What languages do you speak, Scales? I know you have a different feature, but... I'm just curious if you know this offhand, just from languages you know. Because I know you have universal speech. Kind of kidding. Okay. And as a reminder, your universal speech just lets you understand any spoken language, to my knowledge?
No, universal speech.
Gotcha.
Universal speech lets me communicate with any creature, and they understand what I'm saying, not the other way around.
Gotcha. It has to be an action to activate. Okay, got it. Just thought I wanted to make sure. Next, you will hear this creature speak in a terrifying language. Krasi Matal. As it begins to cackle loudly, it's going to make 2 attacks against you. However, as it does so, it does seemingly enter the house unfazed. And that does mean, however, it is just in the range where it would have half cover, but Hawks would be able to see it, Skanuk would be able to see it. Villain's still kind of out of sight for this one, but Skanuk and Hawks would see it now. So
Yes.
held actions can go off.
Cool. Let's see. Firebolt.
Ooh, 22. That'll definitely hit.
Healing 13 fire.
Okay, 13 points of fire damage. Did you have a held action, Hawks? Remind me.
I did, but it's a melee attack. I have my battle axe drawn.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, in that case, the creature is going to reach down first with its claw to slash against you.
It's going to have disadvantage. I'm going to use my Storm Rune to give it disadvantage on Its first attack roll.
Its first attack. Okay, so it is going to slash first. And with disadvantage. Okay, well, you saved him from a natural 20, so good call. Good freaking call.
Hey, Scales, lean back an inch.
Say what? Leans back.
Whoosh! Almost narrowly missing your jugular.
The prophetic vision of Hawks. Lean back up just an inch. What?
However, that does mean it will now lean in for the second attack. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Alright. As it slashes, it snarls in fury and it... Fine. It's beginning to speak in that strange tongue again. As it goes down for a bite. A 26 to hit you, that'll definitely hit. You will take 12 points of piercing damage and 9 points of necrotic damage. And your maximum hit points are reduced by 9.
Is that considered a disease, or is that just an effect?
That is just an effect.
Okay.
Alright, so.
And because I'm still under the effects of the what is it? The bless spell that gives me 5 temporary maximum HP.
Mm-hmm.
I only really take -4 to my maximum hit points.
Right, because you received aid. Mm.
Yeah, it's the aid stuff.
Yeah, good call, Meepo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the Knoll Vampire's turn.
I was trying to remember if I'd already cast that or not.
As the creature steps forward and finishes drawing blood from your neck, you hear the other kobolds start to say, Tekelili, Tekelili, Tekelili. Now is Villain's turn. She is going to step around the corner. She is going to look at the creature, like, ah! She's going to swish her wand of magic missiles and going to cast magic missile. So, 4, 3 missiles, shoot out of the wand. Oh, excellent. 4, 5, 4. That's okay, got it. Excellent. Alright, that is Villain's turn. She's gonna back up, not wanting anything to do with that. Hey, Scales, it's your turn again.
Assuming they are over the fact that this is an illusion, obviously.
You don't get the sense of that from the leader. It seems like he just kind of like went through the entrance. You get the sense the minions know what their master's capable of. You don't get the sense that he didn't have the time to check and seemingly just ignored it because of these capabilities that Professor Scant warned you of. You don't think they know it's an illusion.
Okay.
That's up to you to decide what you want. You still have full control of what you want to do.
Right. Let's see
We
here.
still do have the water anyway.
It's true.
Okay, so in this sense, I will do unsettling words again on the vampire dude.
Okay. Ooh.
So that's -7 to his next saving throw made.
Okay.
And then as an action, I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
and move here.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. So in that case, Canuck, it is now your turn.
Okay. I'm trying to like calculate what like if I get here, can I see more around that corner a bit?
You can see him, but you won't be able to see anything down here, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to hit him with a fireball.
Okay.
Like, like here-ish, I guess.
Sure. Because you can at least, I will say, you at least hear that they're nearby. So, like, you can position in such a way that you think you might hit someone from, like, the farthest point that you can see, which would be, I'd say, down here, I'd say.
That seem right for like a center?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, that seems about where you'd get it.
Okay.
You'd actually get 2 of them then.
Yeah, you could get 2 of them.
Hurrah. That's the level 3. That'll be 40 fire damage.
Oh!
Yes. Take it.
And he has a minus 7 to this, too.
Oh man, it's a DC 24 then.
Oh gosh, well he does have a very high natural bonus, but guess what? The minus 7 took all of his natural bonus away.
Oof.
So this is gonna be a straight roll for him. That's a 5.
Mmm.
That
Spicy.
does not make it.
No, it
I
does
think.
not. Does not. He howls in pain as he is engulfed in flame. All of his matted fur begins to ignite and begins to burn.
I just saw a flash and heard some screams, and I think you did it.
You also heard.
Oh no, I think we've lost him, Billin says under her breath.
Can't tell which one is the null.
As he begins to echo your own laugh.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting kind of weird.
This is really strange.
It's starting weird.
I suppose you're right. What about the other 2? Did we hear them?
Elites.
I do have to make sure that their HP is enough that it won't insta-give them. Okay, no, they actually have... Okay, no, they were surprisingly tanky. However, they do not have the negative, so they will at least get this. 16 and a 23.
So 16 fails.
One makes the save and one of them does not.
You hear "Ah!" from the opposite side. And all the kobolds just go fucking berserk. Retreat! Retreat!
Enraged pterodactyl noises. Ah, glorious.
That was a good fireball.
That was everything I wanted from that spell.
Alright, Meepo. Unless you have anything else in your turn, Skanuk.
I guess just like continuing the heat metal.
Continuing heat metal? Alright. That's... It's bigger. It's been enough time. It'll be a little bit bigger.
Oh, cool.
There you go. I made it bigger.
Hurrah.
Meepo, it is your turn now. You
Meepo
have a
gives,
sizable pool of water to work with.
Meepo gives a concerned look to Skanuka as she continues to move the water. And she's like, are you okay?
That will give you a thumbs up while still cackling.
And let's see. What do I want to do? Scales was just bit, right?
He was, yes.
Then I will. I think it's an action to continue control water, right? Yeah. So I'm going to bonus action healing word.
Okay.
I forgot to mention this, but I can use Devotee of Eldath to cast Sanctuary once per day without the components and stuff. And so I saved a spell slot doing it that way.
Gotcha.
So I have one extra first level spell slot, which means I have one more after this.
Okie dokie. Good to know. So is that your turn then, Meepo?
Plus,
Unless you have an
yeah,
action.
let me roll the 1d4 plus my modifier. So minimum this time, but 6 healing to Scales.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. Hox Hagnar, it is your turn.
Okay, well, I'm not in the greatest position to do anything here.
You did prevent a natural 20.
Yeah, I just don't have much in the way of offensive action that I could reasonably do. I can throw a single javelin because I didn't have a javelin drawn already. I'd have to draw it, so I only get one. And I could throw it at him. I know he's got some cover from where he is in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You think that counts as a wood spike?
I believe
So
it's
I'm not-
chitin.
No, actually, I used all my chitin ones and didn't retrieve them. I actually bought a bunch of javelins at the town last time.
I would say with your curse of religion knowledge, just attacking them with the wood wouldn't necessarily work in the way you think it would. It would have to
No,
be
I
if they're
know.
incapacitated.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm going to throw a javelin.
Okay, that'll definitely hit.
It is non-magical.
You do get the giant's might, though, correct?
Yes, I do get a D8, I think, now. Let me double check that. Yes, I have a D8 of Giant's Might damage now. So it'll actually be 12.
Okay. You will watch as the javelin does impale it directly in the shoulder. It just begins to laugh, almost from the pain itself. It does seem to take less damage than you thought it would.
Okay, and Hox will step back to where he was and be ready with his laundry list of potential.
Indeed. It does seem, however, at this point, that the kobolds begin to sound the retreat. They begin to start running away. You will watch as this Knoll vampire will begin to chant, I am Tekelili, Tekelili, Tekelili. As his form begins to contort, as bones begin to snap, and you will see his form contort to that of a giant hyena. You can see like one of the eyes is now milky white with a scar down the center, and he will run as fast as he can away. But not before you notice, Hawks, as the wound that you struck begins to heal up. It seems, however, that they are retreating. As it comes to villain's turn, damn it, I barely did anything useful. Are we giving chase or no?
Yeah, probably.
Alrighty. In that case, Villain is at least going to head this way. Well, no time like the present. Not going in all that way first, though. That's your
Yeah.
turn. Scales, it is your turn again.
Assuming it might take a second for them to get here, I'm going to attempt to cast.
You would know they are running away from you, in fact. It seems like they did shout in Draconic that they are to retreat. You did hear
Yeah,
that.
but I hurt. So maybe we can short rest in a tiny hut either way.
That scruffy-looking fella leading them was healing up pretty quick.
Well, we may want to just do a longer rest if this didn't work the first time, so we can get all the spells back and do it all start from afresh.
But it's been too soon since we've done a long rest, yeah?
Oh, you're right.
So what do you think? Do you wish to end combat here and then retreat to a safer place, or do you wish to give chase? Choice is yours.
Why would we end combat here?
It seems they are running away.
Well, my thought process is that even if we can't defeat them all now, we could reduce the number of kobolds if we can catch up to them. Obviously, Hawks can't really fit right now, and we'll actually have to wait a minute before he can give chase.
You can fit. You would just be moving at half speed and be squeezing.
Yeah, I'm just saying everyone else would be moving ahead and Hawks would be lagging behind. Either way. Yeah.
All right. And so in that case, decision still giving chase then. Okay. So with that in mind, Scales, do you still wish to stay where you are, or do you have other plans now, given the sudden discussion from the group?
If the group's gonna move from this spot, then I won't try, but I'll stay in the back. Or
Okay.
the middle. I'll stay in the middle.
Gotcha. Okay. That means Skunk, it'll be your turn then.
Another well-placed fireball might be helpful.
I can't get in range
Oh.
to do that because it takes an action. So I have to go like here. I'm sorry, I have to go like here, and then if I dash, I could get down to like. Well, not even there. I'd have to go like there, and then like here, and I still wouldn't be able to target any of them because they weren't able to come up here.
I'm still happy that you got off the big one, though. Bowser. He's snoring really loud.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like if Hawk's is going to be at half movement, so we won't have our melee person, and no one else wants to go down there. I don't really know that it is a good idea. But
We put ourselves in a poor position for a chase after this.
They are acting with
Easy
some
to make that
intelligence.
position.
You know that.
They're acting with intelligence, and they're running into a location that they will probably know more about than us. We'd be chasing them into their home field advantage. Why would we do that?
You know what? Sure. Let's just not.
Okay.
Because if we can avoid them until tomorrow, we're going to be better off than if we were to chase them with the resources that we have now.
We can just pick them off as we see them if we do.
This is going to be bad. They're going to ambush us, and we're not going to be ready. We had a great plan and position set up.
But tiny hut.
Right.
Tiny hut, baby. 2 tiny huts, technically.
Yeah.
So we can't do a long rest, but we can at least recoup all of our short rest resources.
And you remember that from last week, the tower lets you recover a small amount of spell slots. At the short rest.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
So you would get some long rest resources back for spells. Let me double check to see. Let's see. He didn't mention specifically, but you get the sense that you regain 1 spell slot of 3rd level or lower at the end of that rest. You don't think you'll be able to do it again, but you at least get at least 1. So you'd essentially get that fireball back.
Oh, well, that's something.
I'll get my runes back, and I'll get my action surge, which I hadn't recovered from last time. But I won't get my giant's might usage back.
Alright. So what I'm hearing is we'll end combat for now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep the initiative order up for now. But, for all intents and purposes, we are out of combat. As you hear the yipping and the snarling and the laughing echoing through the cavern, they disappear further in. So, what are you guys doing?
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep. Dylan will follow
Hawks
suit.
will have to squeeze, but eventually he'll be small again, so...
So, I don't mean to intrude upon this moment. Everyone is rather glum. But I could give you some more the information on this, gnoll vampire creature.
Is there any way to incapacitate it?
Well, do you have any holy water?
No, I used it up.
Shit.
No, wait, I might have one more.
Yeah, I thought you had one left. Because you used the, I let you, make a check to use more than one on 2 skulls with a, given because you used to control water. So you didn't use all of your holy waters.
I'm looking. Yeah, no, wait. Well, anybody else do it? Oh, there you go. I can make one more. It will take time to make it.
I see. Well,
I can't make it today either, because I don't have the spell prepared, so I can't do the ritual.
that is unfortunate. Well, do any of you happen to know Celestial, the language spoken by those above? Damn.
I can read it.
I don't have that spell prepared either.
Couldn't like speak it out loud. It would come out as common, but I could read it.
Because, from my knowledge, no vampires are enraged by celestial language. If they hear it spoken aloud, they'll try and attack the source spoken, no matter what. If apparently
That
if it
sounds
hears it
convenient.
from multiple sources from opposite directions, it'll act as if it's restrained by it.
Do you know any of the language?
Good question. Let me check my inner thoughts.
If you do, you could just teach one of us a few words. It doesn't have to be the whole language.
Yeah,
Right.
give us a few good insults to throw at him.
Hold on. I'm looking through my inner self.
I mean, we don't necessarily speak the language, but
If you
either
did
I or
find-
Meepo like have a couple of words.
Right, I might be able to pull out something from just teachings.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just
like-
trying to see if he knows offhand.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'll just roll religion meanwhile, just in case. Trying to
Are like the vocal components of cleric spells in Celestial?
Not
It
quite.
depends.
It depends.
Technically on like how you flavor things.
I'll say. Oh, you already rolled a religion check, 12.
I mean, I did, but it doesn't necessarily have to stop the professor from checking.
Oh no, it didn't stop. I just looked. Unfortunately, my knowledge regards Draconic, the Elvish language, Loras, the dead tongue of the Empire Netheril, and of course, Common. Unfortunately, Celestial is outside of my realm of expertise, unfortunately.
We could have used your help when we had the elvish mummy following us around.
You had an Elvish mummy?
Yeah, his name was Sonar.
Oh, that's quite fascinating. Ah, I would have loved to have seen them. Ah, c'est la vie. And I don't much speak Celestial either. But hold on, perhaps I know if... Perhaps if I roll high enough on my intelligence check... Wait, no, he didn't actually say that. I'm afraid I haven't... no words come to mind. I will say... Oh, you what are you using for?
Yeah, I don't know what his was, but I would maybe I put it on Meepo's or yeah.
Meepo's... I do it on Meepo's.
Yeah.
He rolled really low.
Yeah.
Okay, with that in mind, a 17. Meepo, you would know... I'd say, given your teachings of Eldath, they're mostly in Druidic, but you would occasionally have heard a word or two in Celestial. I would say, for the purposes of this, you would know a word in Celestial, the word for peace.
Okay. I'll just teach everybody that word in Celestial just so that if somebody wants to draw the null towards them, they can.
Let me see. Apparently, these specific vampires are repulsed by perfume. They hate the stench of it, apparently, and they,
Perfume. I've got some incense.
that could work, actually. It's close enough. It might work.
I've got it. Haven't used it yet.
Of course, there is the usual stake to the heart, but of course that's usually when they're sleeping. Of course, if you do manage to get them when they're sleeping, then you'll paralyze it. So there's that. And of course, as they are a vampire, they share the vampiric sunlight hypersensitivity, taking damage from direct contact with sunlight, which normally wouldn't be an issue, given what's been going on, but, well, it is, times are changing. That's all I know offhand, though. No, vampires are a very, very rare, very specific breed that are not usually created.
kind of wishing one of those druids taught me that druid craft spell so I could make some perfumey smells with it. I guess incense it is.
So,
Does
go ahead.
does this body have any like bottles of perfume on it? Just on the off chance.
You know what? Hang on. I'm going to roll a D100. On a 10 or lower, it'll have a bottle of perfume. Oh, so close. It does
That was
not.
almost divine intervention.
Almost a divine
Oh.
intervention.
Hello. Fucking magical tinkering. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or a nonverbal sound. Chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. It's actually useful, guys!
It's useful! It has a purpose!
It's happening!
Who do we want the knoll to stay away from?
I can make 5 of these objects.
Oh. So give it to the 5 people who we don't want it to have attack, and then have the one person we want to have it attack. Speak
no.
celestial when we want it to.
Fair
I
enough.
guess everybody's carrying one, and then when we want to fight it, we just like say the celestial word and have it chase us.
It occurs to me that, like, up until this point, like, up until I make the 5th one, the, somewhere in Dugan's Hole, there's, like, a shredded remain of a doorknob that still, like, insults whoever touches it. Because this is an indefinite effect.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true.
So, yeah, I guess we're just saying goodbye to Dugan's Hole permanently now, and moving on.
Indeed.
Everyone gets,
Of course.
like, a fancy, bolt.
When it stops,
Smells fun.
everybody in Dugan's Hole feels kind of sad because their favorite doorknob isn't working anymore.
Even I can cause them even more suffering. That's wonderful.
And of course, as a reminder, you gain, while you're resting here, taking a short rest here, as a reminder, you gain a one spell slot of 3rd level or lower.
A spell slot of 3rd level or lower, or up to 3 levels of spell slots?
It is 1 spell slot of 3rd level or lower.
Okay.
Fireball. And my cannon boy would have died in an
Then
hour.
there's no reason not to do 3rd level because I can just upcast anything up to 3rd level if I want to.
Fair enough.
Yep. Short rest take an hour, right?
Yes, it's about an hour, correct.
Okay, so the cannon would be gone by now.
It would be, unfortunately, but that's fine.
Awesome.
This mechanic
Oh,
feels
good boy.
distinctly anti-warlock.
I had a feeling it would tickle your offense.
Listen, we can talk about mechanics being anti a class right after they get rid of concentration being awful.
For druids.
Then I'll listen.
Druids should have
It's a
some like,
warlock-related
bonus
great thing.
concentration or something.
Concentration as a mechanic is fine. It's just that druids have way too many and not enough non-concentration spells. That's really the only big thing.
Right. I think maybe if you gave like druids like an advantage on concentration saves in nature or something like that, it might help because most of D&D is played out in nature.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so is everyone rested?
Oh, I didn't check my health.
Instead of using hit die, I used my second wind because that'll refresh on a short rest.
Ah, gotcha. So you used second wind and then regained it
Like
back.
short rested to regain it back, yes.
Gotcha.
Which means I do still have all of my hit dice, but, you know...
Scales, how's that neck of yours?
It's been worse, I guess.
yeah, unfortunately, it wouldn't act as true sunlight scales. The house was a clever thing. The sunlight, maybe it would give it pause for a second, but it wouldn't, obviously wouldn't do any damage, and as soon as it figures that out...
No, of course it wouldn't, but it would be much more hesitant to enter the area of perceived sunlight.
Mm,
I mean, if it's gonna be if it acts like a vampire would to sunlight, a vampire wouldn't like jump headlong into sunlight.
right, you're also in a cave, underground, very far.
Yeah, the question becomes like, does it understand the nature of spells that generate light that is like pseudo sunlight that wouldn't burn it like sunlight
Realm of,
does?
of plausibility.
To be fair, I did let the house thing work really well. That was really cool. The house thing was just hilarious. Like, I could not say no to that. That was just... let's see... Oh, by the way, that means, of course, speaking of the house, it's also gone. But with that, you guys now have taken your short rest. And although you do hear the cackling like you did before, it is very far away. You do not think the creature has followed you out this far. What do you do?
How long have we been in the dungeon as a whole? Since our last long rest.
As a whole, let's see. You used the arcane item an hour. You've been in the dungeon for around, I'd say, 3 hours total.
That means I have 5 hours left on my life preserving spell. Whatever that's called.
Death Ward?
Death Ward, yeah.
I was about to say, like, wait a second.
I couldn't remember the name of it. The life preserving death ward.
Negative energy flood. Wait, no, that's different. Alright, guys, what are you doing?
I guess we just go on. We got these perfume things. Hopefully it'll leave us alone. And if its little minions attack us, we'll just take them out.
The perfume is only perceivable out to 10 feet.
Right, so if it attacks, just use the perfume and scare it away.
Just sort of like wave it in its face and say like, back! Foul beast!
Will you? And if you want it to attack you, just say peace in Celestial.
Peace in Celestial.
Well, it's actually says the word.
The villain will kind of step up, kind of shrugging off.
It's actually Pax. We'll use Latin, since I know that.
Oh, alright, Pax. Villain will kind of step up and dust herself off after her little rest. Well, the question is, should we go the way we were going, or should we go a different way this time?
Well, the different ways all seem to lead towards Wormland.
Was there a different tunnel?
Was there one you had checked?
So there's like, from what I can see, it's like there's one that leads towards Vampire Land, and then there's one that leads kind of not down, but like south. That might also have stairs in the same room. It's like
Might as well check it out. Just check it out, expecting for vampires to be there.
I don't know where that leads. I don't think we didn't explore that one.
You did not explore down there, no.
This is where the vampires came from, in here somewhere. So up here might be something, and over here might be something.
Thank the head.
Thank you. Can we also like make sure it doesn't get buried in ice?
Yeah, just kind of shove it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It has slightly submerged in the water. The water is slightly freezing back up, if only slightly. But it has slightly submerged down to where its eyes are almost covered. And it's just blinking fiercely. I'm not even going to attempt to read that. It's furious with you.
Sorry.
I mean, we sort of partially healed it, right?
Right, but we also almost submerged it underwater. Probably not very comfortable.
Well, we're getting you out.
It says no. I don't think there's a direct translation, but I think it means there's doubt in there.
Hawks can attempt to move it.
All right. Oh, of course you are no longer. You're small.
But only barely small.
Yeah, so athletics.
Sure. Roll athletics.
Any way I could grab advantage on that?
I'll say because it's not as it was slightly partially frozen, like solid, to the ice underneath it before, and I will say the controlled water and the melting of the ice managed to loosen it. I will give you advantage on this.
I'm assuming that the rest of us are probably also doing something
probably.
to help
Yes.
as well.
Helping.
Anyway.
I will agree.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. After Hawks, it's not as if Hawks is unable to lift something like this, but it feels like the terrain gives him a little bit of a disadvantage. So you all begin to kind of pitch in a little bit, and you pitch in ways that he cannot lift. So he manages to push it out of the pool of water and against the wall, just kind of rolling it like a large barrel. And you kind of prop it up against the wall, fully vertical. And the eyes just kind of wink at you.
Well, that's what I can do.
The eyes kind of glance upward, then back down to you. You feel as if it had shoulders, it would shrug.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for your body.
The eyes blink once. Then once again. A hesitant yes. So, you guys continue onward. I assume to this unexplored tunnel down to the south. Am I correct?
Ah!
Sure.
Excuse me.
For now.
Yes.
Right, go ahead and move as a group down this way. I will reveal what you see as we go down along. Let me see here. Okay. So, as you go down along this tunnel, you see another sort of natural icy stairway carved into this tunnel down below. It seems... Oh, I just lost my place. My apologies. I keep losing my places to things. It's distracting me. Let me see. It seems this specific location has multiple areas. The first part of this cavern seems to extend around 20 or so feet up high, with more of those stalagmites and stalactites that kind of like reach up and almost connect each other to the ceiling and to the ground. Otherwise, this particular cavern right here appears to be empty that you can see. But as you go down this way, it seems like it seems to be part of the same kind of connecting structure, the same cavern structure. As you do, you will see to the northwestern wall, there's a thin sheet of ice that you notice has a soft purple glow behind it.
Something's buried here?
It's almost like the sheet of ice almost reminds you of a window. It's still thick enough to be difficult to get through, and yet it's transparent enough that you get a hint of something behind.
Anybody know what this is? Professor?
Adorable.
Should we?
There's a lot of things that we've done that we shouldn't have.
You will not get the chance. As a deep sigh issues from the other side of this wall. A voice steeped in malevolence and hatred whispers to you. A figure, draped in black and draped in purple, wispy and ethereal, almost like that of a ghost. Oh. Sorry, pardon me. This figure will drift through the icy sheet and screams outward, "Cursed be those who gaze upon the horror that Dracarys has become. Such promise wasted, lost in this cold sepulchre. Where were you centuries ago, when he was in the prime of his life? Where were you when the frigid darkness consumed him? You no good to Dracarys now. Nothing remains of him but frozen bones, ancient treasures, and me." I would like you all to roll initiative.
Damn, I was just a little bit too slow on that. Okay. Just a little bit too slow. That's where
I
is.
believe it will replace your initiative, so yes, yes. Awesome, I don't have to exit out of that. It'll just replace it. Ooh, my boy. Let's see. Villain, I need to re-add her initiative. Because she should be with you. She should be back here. For her. Oh, not bad. As soon as she rounds the corner... Oh, come on! Every time my necrotic spells are worthless! But with that, we get some of that proper music up again.
Have you ever considered becoming a cleric?
No! She seems disgusted that you would even suggest such a thing. But it is Drakith's turn. As this creature manifests, he will slowly go over here, drifting through, almost through the walls entirely. Double checking just to see how much movement he actually has. Okay, so that'll be almost all of it. That's fine. You'll see as he reaches towards his back and pulls out what appears to be... It resembles a long wizard's staff, but it is gnarled at the hook, and he will grasp it in his hands. Die! And he will swing. He'll swing. Look, he only has one attack. Good to know.
Who is he swinging at?
Currently... Actually, because he can go through... Yes, he has been talking in third person this whole time.
Can you write his name down?
Do you not see it in the turn order?
No, it doesn't
It
show
does
his name.
not list his name.
Oh, interesting. Okay, in that case, let me write it down. If I can.
This is very important.
Let's see. It is Dracarith. Let's see. I will actually roll a 1d2. On a 1, it's Hawks. On a 2, it's Scales. Alright, so Hawks, you are getting the attack.
Okay. Considering that you rolled twice, I might as well save you some trouble and use a runic shield to cause him to have to roll twice.
Okay.
And that 16 then will miss me.
Wait, 16? What? I didn't...
You roll... Oh, I thought you rolled...
No.
Oh, is that his initiative and then his attack? Okay, well in that case, I wouldn't use it, because I can use runic shield after knowing if it would
No, because...
hit.
No, the 22 was his initiative. The 16 was Velin's initiative.
Okay.
Here's
I
his
thought
attack.
I thought you mentioned making an attack roll and thought one of them must
No,
have been
I said I was going
okay.
to make an attack roll. This is his attack roll.
Okay. That's a 21? Do I actually beat that? No, 21 is my AC. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the runic shield and cause him to reroll that.
Okay, that's a natural 1.
Yeah, I don't think so, buddy.
Be gone!
Same to you.
Me Bomolo.
I agree. Be gone. Do I want to? I'm gonna emboldening bond. Since everybody's tightly packed here, perfect timing for that. And I'm going to bonus action sanctuary myself. Use that spell slot.
Alrighty.
The good old 1-2, beginning of initiative.
Good old 1-2. That's Valin's turn. Every time. Actually, there... Because she can't use... Yeah, no. I'm afraid I have
Can you just have someone teach you Fireball, just to have on hand?
No, I refuse. I have an aesthetic that I refuse to not abide by. Good luck.
Did you run out of pages in your spell book or something?
Didn't you get that other lady's spell book? Sure, she's got something useful.
Because she transferred mine into hers, not the other way around.
Can't you use hers?
I've been slowly, very slowly, getting it into mine.
You didn't do it during that rest we had?
Doesn't that break your aesthetic?
Shut up.
I'm actually kind of having fun with this. You should stick around.
I take the dodge action as my turn. Bastard. Scales.
See, this is why I don't bother with those things. I just remember the spells. It's not that hard.
So Scales, it's your turn.
Insults everyone.
Haha. Hee hee.
So just in case he did turn invisible or something like that, it would still hit him, but he's currently still just right in front of me. So, I even...
And intelligence saving throw. No. Go ahead and roll that damage, my friend. That is a failure.
That's 26 psychic damage, and he's incapacitated.
You'll watch as the ethereal form of this wraith-like creature begins to twitch and spasm.
Wait, you can just do that? Huh.
Words, man. Words hurt.
They sure do. You said something about knowing names. Do we know that Noel's name? Was it Teak something?
Tekalili, wasn't it?
Tekalili, tekalili, tekalili. You hear a slight chant throughout the cavern.
Yeah,
that.
that might be helpful. Keep that one on hand.
Maybe, yeah.
Sounds weird. Feel like something people from Dugan's Hall would chant.
Maybe he's from Dugan's Hole.
That would explain a lot, honestly.
Alright, Scales, is that your turn?
More unsettling words. They really hurt.
Alright, just got a -3 to its next save. Got it.
My turn is done.
Alright. Hox Hagnar. Skip you in the turn order. Hox Hagnar.
Well, he's incapacitated now, right?
Yep.
Which only means
Roll.
he can take actions or reactions. That's it.
Well,
Meetings can still continue.
I am not going to bother trying for advantage. Oh. Yeah, I could roar, but that would waste a roar.
Why?
So, what do you mean?
Incapacitated doesn't give you advantage on attack rolls?
You could just want to use it for later.
Yeah, if he just can't take actions or reactions, it wouldn't give me advantage. So, I'm just gonna save it. I'm gonna hold on to it because it's one of those things that recharges on a long rest. So I don't want to waste it. So instead, I'm just going to attempt a pair of bops.
Magic Axe Bop.
Bop. Okay. Well, the second one worked a little bit better.
Indeed it did.
And with my bonus action, I am going to attempt to use my shield to push him over.
Okay.
So that is athletics. Yeah, he's on his butt.
Alright, as you... Oh, I'm so sorry. As you attempt to push him, your shield goes through him. As an ethereal spirit, he is immune to the prone condition. I'm so sorry. That natural 20 is... I'm sorry!
Well, in that case, can I push him back?
You could. I would definitely allow that.
Okay, yeah, because a
like-
shove is either pushing them prone or pushing them back. So
Kind of like waft him.
I might not want to do that, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to say that I attempted to shove him down and it didn't work.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of kobolds with pack tactics looking over my shoulder that might want me to stick with them.
You could use your movement to move towards him and just have him move away from the group.
That's true, but I think this is fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
Alright, that
Just
means... Speaking of
blowing
kobolds
them
with
out.
pack tactics...
Gnak.
Do I want to use a spell slot for this? He's a wraith. It's a little... Like, he hasn't really accomplished much, has he?
Nope.
Not terribly much.
I am the mighty tracker. Immediately shat upon.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's try and make sure of that. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay.
So let's see. Turn off Arcane Fire. As much as add that to one of
Oh,
them that
by the
hits.
way, you have Emboldening Bond, so don't forget about that.
Oh, that's even more fun. All right, so advantage, holding bond, and 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. So all of those hit.
This hit. That's wonderful. So first hit, second hit, and the third hit will be having the arcane fire on it.
So the first one is 13 because of the arcane firearm.
Not the first one. The third one.
Oh, the third one has the arcane firearm?
Yes, it does.
It does allow him
Where's
to
arcane
pick
firearm?
just once per turn.
Okay, so you can move it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just the first attack
But
roll.
it just says to one of the spell's damage roll.
Interesting. So you could have it afflict to a crit. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Neat.
Cool.
That would be 9.
Does this guy get lingering injuries?
6. 42? 42 damage?
42 damage. Yep.
Okay.
The question, I suppose, is, I suppose the question is like, how much damage did Skunk do to the creature? That is the answer. 42.
It didn't seem like it resisted some of the fire. However, it is ethereal, technically, but I'm just for curiosity's sake. I gotta know. Hang on, where did I put the...
Horrible Scar? An 11?
Horrible Scar. You'll watch as... He doesn't seem to be affected as much as the fire as you would hoped it would be, and yet you will see as his body begins to be wreathed in flame, as he begins to scream, "No, no, no, no!" It seems it's psychologically it is affecting him.
Burn, baby, burn.
Wait, he's afraid of fire? Fun.
Oh,
Well,
has
they were
all
kind
the
of flavoring
fire
that as
spells.
the horrible scar, kind of flavoring it
Oh,
that way,
okay.
as he's
Got it.
he's just being beat to
oh,
crap.
it's a psychological scar. Okay,
Yes.
fair enough.
Gotcha. It's the psychic lance plus the fire working together just to make it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You pummel
Well.
the lance just a little further in.
Having done that, I'm going to, turn around and, power walk the other direction.
You moonwalk.
He said turn around.
And I know. Just
I'll turn 360 degrees and moonwalk backwards. Moonwalk away from my problem.
All right.
Oh god, that hurts. That
All
hurts.
right. Oh gosh.
You did a spin and then moonwalked. How can I not?
So
You're right.
they can still move when they're incapacitated, if I'm correct.
Yes,
Yes, just no actions or reactions.
Okay, so no disengage, no dash. Okay, gotcha. So he's just gonna move out of your range, so you get an
Well.
opportunity attack.
Yep. And a 15 for 10 slashing, magical.
Damn it!
God.
Just deleted.
In one round. I am the mighty Drakrith. I cannot be burned. I cannot be destroyed. As he is destroyed.
Well, that was pretty easy.
Also, it's pronounced sepulcher.
What? You're breathing into your mic a little bit, Stephen.
Sorry.
It's alright. I'll let you know.
Oh, that was fun.
I will say that purple glow still remains in the other, past the sheet of ice. It still lingers.
Oh, let's break this down. See what's back there.
Alright, so it is a wall of ice, so it won't be difficult to hit per se. So just go ahead and roll attack rolls. And just roll the damage.
I'm gonna touch it first, just to see what happens.
You touch it. It's cold.
Do I have anything that could actually get through this?
Excuse me.
Oh, that works. Yep.
As you would expect, this thin sheet of ice is in fact vulnerable to fire damage. As it begins to melt away. Revealing
Revealing.
an empty room. But the purple glow is behind a thinner wall, and you see, almost reflected like a mirror, what appears to be a corpse of a robed individual wielding a staff. Then that purple glow is fading, but still lingers slightly. But there is another wall.
Okay, I call trying to kick this one down.
All right.
I'll help if you need to.
Give me moral support.
You got this. I've seen you
believe
kick
in you.
things.
You said advantage, right? Okay. Yeah, so 16.
16? Roll one more
Plus
time.
even-
Act as if you had
box.
another attack.
Well, I guess I technically do with the multi-attack, so 20 for 6 more.
6 more? Okay, that'll be enough. Alright, so you break into a smaller chamber to then break into the final chamber itself. To which you will see, beyond these these walls of ice, in this ice-covered cyst is a frost-covered skeleton, which you assume to be that of Dracarith. Clad in a purple mantle which still has that lingering purple glow, and is surrounded by the rotted remains of 6 ancient leather-bound spellbooks. You also notice a cracked crystal ball clutched in his right hand, and clutched in his left hand is a staff fashioned out of charlatan.
Okay, so we don't touch the stick, because that's
Right,
probably
yeah.
why he's, like, ghosting around and stuff.
And spooky.
Mhm.
And a little
All right.
nuts.
But hey,
Everything
that's
else,
a fancy jacket.
It really is.
And the books
Was-
look like something Villain might want.
You mentioned books?
There are 6 of them.
She immediately
like
dives for one,
Set.
opens one, and then immediately falls apart, and revealing barely legible, non-usable garbage.
Huh.
She
Hang on,
blows-
I've actually got an idea. This may take a minute.
Mending.
Yep.
Literally takes a minute.
Yep.
Can mending fix age?
It puts the spellbook back together. The lost writing, though, it's kind of smudged. That much you can't really mend.
Well, that's of course.
Can you do it on the other ones before we move them so that they don't blow apart?
Sure, if we want to commit to that.
I don't know.
Mending storm. Mending for everything except for the
Anybody
stick.
else
The stick
have
can
mending?
stay.
I don't.
While they're doing this, can I take a look at his fancy jacket?
You sure can.
I'm assuming the orb is like a spellcasting focus, or is it an item other than that?
Roll an Arcana check. For you, Meepo, and then for you, Hawks, you can go ahead. It's not too difficult to lift this mantle. It's kind of has that clasp in the center near the chest that you can kind of quickly undo. You take it off of the body. The bones kind of crackle and crunch as you do so. But you can put it around yourself. It's clearly meant for a larger person, but as you put it around your shoulders, it fits to your shape.
Oh, it looks like this might be magic. I don't know what it does, but, let me see here. I got a magic axe, I got my magic boots, I got my magic shield. I think I'm all attuned up if someone else wants to, take a swing at this.
Scales, is purple work for you, or you want to pass that on?
I only have these boots, and I don't know. If it gives me any sort of protection, I might try it. If it doesn't, then I might pass it on. But I'll try it out.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I
The
can
only
identify
thing-
it if you want to take a minute. Sorry, what?
So the only thing I can guarantee is that it doesn't protect you from being entombed beneath a glacier.
I mean, he might have just been bad with using it.
That gets a
That's
chuckle
true.
out of villain.
That's probably pretty fair.
Well, I say finish the books and then identify the robe, and then after that we'll probably just leave this guy to
Rock.
leave this guy in peace.
If I didn't
I
know
guess
any
he's at
better,
peace.
I would love to use that staff, but Charlton,
I suggest you don't. You don't want to lose your
Oh,
faculties.
believe me, I know. I know all about the dangerous uses of Charlton. I'm aware. And yet the temptation is strong.
Well, we'll see if we can find you another staff that's not made out of that stuff. If it was just cursed, I could remove the curse, or at least stall it. But Charlton, that's not going to do anything.
She kind of shrugs. So, Skanuk, you said you were wanting to take a look at that mantle.
Yes, after mending all of the books, I will cast Identify as a Ritual.
Okay. So, let me double check what this is here. But it's because it's quite good. No, it's not that. Hang on. So as you look into the object, kind of like seeing all of its magical enchantments for what they are, you realize that this is a mantle of spell resistance. It requires attunement. You have advantage while wearing this item on saving those against spells while you wear this cloak.
Oh, that's quite good.
I will copy pasta this in chat.
Let's see. Hawks already has a bunch of stuff. Skanuk, I
I
think,
already
has...
offered it to Scales.
Yeah, so I think Scales is probably still a good bet. I think I'm probably full up on attunement stuff as well. So yeah. There you go, Scales.
Oh boy.
Hey, you're getting all decked out. You got winged boots, you got a mantle of spell resistance. You got the power. That said, that does seem to be all there is in this section, but what a find.
Yeah. If I hit the staff with a firebolt, does it damage it?
You kind of light the staff ablaze. Magical items, you know for a fact, are resistant to damage, and as such are not usually damaged except through harsher means. This staff does not take damage as you light it ablaze.
Fair enough.
It's clearly magical.
Fair enough.
So,
In that case, I'll just take the broken crystal ball. I want the paperweight.
yep. You're just kind of carrying that with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little.
I'm assuming it's not like magical anymore, but it's...
It has a very large crack in it. You notice that off the bat. Given magical enchantments, those probably don't come back with being broken, even if you mended it.
What were you saying, Hawks?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I just thought I heard something. Yeah.
It's me, Hawks Hagnar. Sorry, I'm just. You were.
Honestly, that was probably a better Hawk's voice than I'm doing.
No, you're the original. How can I do a better voice than what you're doing? It's your voice.
That's the joke.
He's not taking things seriously like Hawks wouldn't.
Aha.
Which is what caused that again? I forget.
The Frost Maiden, I think.
The trial of isolation.
Oh right. Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's not something that just wears off.
where are you guys going next?
Well, that was at least worthwhile. Is there anything down in this corner? Or is that just covered?
No, that is just empty space.
I guess we just go after the vampires next, then.
Yeah, looks like it. Oh, what about here?
That is a
Is
tunnel.
this something? Okay. Is this?
No, that
I'm
is
assuming not because it's a small space, but
no, it is not. It is nothing. But this is a tunnel.
yeah.
Kobolds sure like tunnels.
Yep. The natural habitat.
Area is done. We have what? 6 minutes for that. 1 minute for that. That's 2 more minutes of emboldening bond left.
All right. You kind of peer into this cavern over this little tunnel over here, and you can see that it breaks off.
Oh. Really quick before we do that, I did roll an 18 on my Arcana on the orb.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry, I completely missed that.
Right, I just glanced over, saw the Arcana, and remembered.
No, thank you for reminding me. I would have completely missed that.
Sorry.
18. You get this sense that at one point in time, this was clearly a very powerful magical item, but any sort of enchantment it once had is unsalvageable.
Well, that's a shame.
I mean, do you want it? I didn't realize you had picked it up.
It's not useful, I don't think. I think it's broken. I mean, maybe you could use it to make a magic item out of it later, but it can't be used for what it was used before.
That was I was looking for a paper. Huh. Just having a thought in the distance.
Well, here you go.
Brain blast.
Magical orb broken.
And Balin will kind of grumpily waltz this way. Just more disappointment. Can't wait till we get to the city itself. There we are.
Did mending all those books make them salvageable?
Unfortunately, no. They are, at the very least, are not falling apart at the seams, so that is good, but none of their writing is legible. It seems that perhaps that is, and you gather that perhaps given the nature of this individual, that might be by design. The way that they were laid around this individual, perhaps it was a rival who laid him to rest here and tuned him in the ice, did so in a mocking way, or perhaps there was his way of having it so that only he could know its secrets. Either way, it is now lost to time.
Well, rest in peace.
Ripping pepperoni.
A small gust in the wind passes by.
So, going this way now.
Alright, you go that way. And as you do, you clearly see that there is another tunnel heading up north, which goes back in a way that you had seen before. Oh, I swear, reveal tool, it just never works for me, every single time. So it goes back up the way you had come before. To that heavily stalagmite, stalactite-ridden room. To the south, you see a room that you believe you had remembered Hawks describe. A tunnel leading downward, most likely to the Rimmer houses. And then a tunnel leading to the south beyond that.
Is this a tunnel or is this just an alcove?
That is just an alcove. The tunnel I described was to the south.
I know. I just wanted to double check.
Sure thing. You have those thoughts kind of thinking of stuff that you could possibly
south
do.
then? Or do we want to go after the vampires now? Assuming they're still north.
Well, I don't really like the idea of them being behind us. And well, what is south? I mean, there's the hole into the worm pit.
There is also a tunnel beyond the hole.
Yeah.
Can we see what's in the tunnel?
Not from this angle, no. You would have to get closer.
Okay, I'm going to slowly walk away from the tunnel and
Yep.
towards there.
I'd like to like keep an eye out for anything like mist,
Absolutely. You may go ahead and
kobolds.
roll a perception check for me.
Perhaps along the ceiling, perhaps within the tunnel, floating.
Of course. Perception.
Along the walls.
Yeah. It does concern you because this cavern that you're walking into right now is at least 30 feet high. So you think to yourself, oh, there's plenty of space that this individual could possibly hide along the ceiling and get the drop on you. But thankfully, it doesn't seem that the no vampire Tekeli Lee is here. You don't believe you see him.
Amateur.
Scales, what's the range on that lance spell you've got?
I believe it's 120 feet.
Does it go through walls? Because that's like all the way back to the entrance, isn't it? No, okay, it's not.
Not quite, but still very far, a good
Well,
distance.
The way that I understand the spell is, regardless of whether or not I can see the creature, if the creature is within 120 feet of me when I cast the spell, it'll hit them.
Huh. That's a great way to open the fight if we want to just get them mad at us.
That's true. That's true.
And also keep track of him.
Well, out of character, we know the map is only so big, but in character, I guess we wouldn't know that they can only be so far.
There is that. I mean, the tunnels do kind of wind and kind of come close together, so it does leave some room where you're like, okay, they could be theoretically close enough in theory. But I will say, you were saying you were taking a look south, Meepo. You see another naturally cut icy stairway down south of this tunnel.
There's another stairway over here.
I see you over there, Scales. I see what you're doing. Sneaky breaky. Sneaky.
Oh, nothing for it but to take a look, I guess. Or do we want to just go and fight the... Well, wait, did the vampires go north, or did they come this way?
We don't know.
You don't know because they were around the corner when they ran.
Scales, you want to try your spell and just let us know? That way we can decide which way to go?
Does it tell you the direction when you cast it?
Well, no, but the lance is visible, and it would zoom off into a direction.
Go on.
And if I will say that if it's outside of the range of the 120 feet, then the lance would just dissipate and the spell would be wasted. So we'd at least know that it's out of range, so it's further than 120 feet. But if it zooms away, then it's closer than 120 feet. And which direction it is.
How many times can you do that?
Twice more.
We might want to save it at least for once when we're nearby so that maybe we can get him spiked when he's staggered from it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Do we have a wooden spike?
We could make one.
We can break off the handle of my mace.
I guess if you're not using it.
I mean, not really.
In theory, that should work. Professor Scant pipes up.
Let me see what else I have. If there's anything... I got pythons. Are these wooden?
I think those are metal,
Oh yeah, these are metal.
usually.
Oh shit, I really just realized Rolotham's Psychic Lance is the vampire killer. I didn't even realize.
How do you mean?
Because Professor Scant told you it incapacitates them. If
Oh, that is true.
That's why I said incapacitate them and then spike them. That's it does just a little bit more to vampires.
That's disgusting. I love it.
Well, it incapacitates them.
What?
It just incapacitates them.
Well, I meant-
Incapacitate is no actions or reactions. It doesn't mean that it has.
But for
advantage.
vampires, if you spike them while they're incapacitated, then they become paralyzed.
Yeah, Professor Scant told you that.
Gag.
Yeah.
That's like a 4th level spell, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
That would have
almost
to
as
be-
good as a daylight spell.
I do think
Or
you
not
still
a
have to
daylight,
hit
it's
the
sunlight.
creature, to my knowledge. You do have to make like a quote
Right.
unquote attack roll to hit it. But still, if you hit,
What?
If you're fighting a dumb vampire, it's great.
It's because it's you have to hit it with the thing.
it'd be like
I
an
was saying, like-
improvised dex or strength like weapon.
We need a kobold with advantage to attack it with a spike
Pack tactics.
or roar.
True, I could roar him. Although if I'm next to him, technically anyone else in this group would get pack tactics.
But the roar
Alright.
would give you advantage too. Anybody else have anything else before I break my mace? Just
Well, I mean, we've
some drift
probably
wood?
got a fair few. Well, yeah, actually, we probably do have some drift, but just around, considering.
Scraps.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I have?
Anything in your materials you use for making stuff?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I know at least we have like some javelins around. Nautiloid hull was metal. What's this? That's that old fang.
Keeping an eye out for the vampire while we're rummaging.
Yep. I have a hand axe that I have not used in however many months we've been here.
I'll take it.
I guess the same could be said of your mace.
I guess you give the hand axe to Hawks and we can use my mace handle.
Fair enough.
Hawks getting an extra weapon never hurts.
Now I've got 2 hand axes.
Ooh. I'm keeping the dagger though. That's gonna be my backup.
Right. Never leave a kobold without a dagger.
Yep.
At least most kobolds. Daggers are kind of helpful, even if you're not using it as a weapon. They can be used for like cutting ropes and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I should switch out my mace for a dagger after this. Anyway, breaks the mace handle. Now I've got a spike and a big metal chunk. You want this? You could probably catapult the metal chunk.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alright, I'm gonna
That's
give
fine.
Hawks the spike and the head of the mace to
Okay.
I no longer have a mace.
Yep, that is now a broken wooden handle to resemble a wooden stake.
You said you're giving it to Hawks?
Yes, I'm giving it to Hawks.
Alright, 1 wooden stake in the inventory.
I've been looking the last few minutes and it looks like there's sadly no way to get Rolotham's on a cleric or paladin, which is disappointing.
Unfortunately.
You could yeah.
Oh, you're thinking
'Cause
like
it's,
the true like vampire hunter build, like
Yeah, right. I was thinking okay, paladin.
Can you get
You
it on
do
a druid?
Nope. Bard, sorcerer, warlock, and wizard. It's far too good for a druid spell.
You're right, it is.
Makes sense
You
for
joking? 120
warlocks.
feet. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for all of those classes. It's just,
Yeah. Anyway,
I guess
You could-
clerics don't need
You
spells
could
like it.
set up a celestial warlock to have that kind of vibe.
Ah,
Celestial
is true.
Sorcerer 2.
In
Celestial
Divine Soul,
Soul.
yeah.
Divine Soul Sorcerer, Celestial Warlock. There you go.
Anyway, back to the game.
Yep.
You now have, you believe you, so you have the hand axe that you're breaking, you have the mace that you're breaking, so that's 2 stakes then.
I don't think we were breaking the hand axe unless
Oh, you weren't?
He wanted-
Okay.
I think he was just using the hand axe as a hand
Yeah, I
axe.
was just giving it to him.
Okay, fair enough. So just trading weapons, gotcha. So then just
Right.
the 1 stake. Okay.
I mean, we could still.
I will say, are you still deciding to head down southward, or are you going to test out the limits of Psychic Lance? What other options?
I think that's up to Scales. If he wants to use his 4th level spell slot, he can. If he doesn't, then we'll just go south, I guess. Unless Canuck really wants to just go straight north and see if we can fight
Yeah.
the vampire.
Let's might as well explore a bit more south. See what we can see. We're here now.
Alright, let's go south then.
I don't really care either way, honestly. But
And if you want, you can fire that spell or save it for when we need it. I'm gonna wait for Scales' decision and then go.
I'll go ahead and cast it now, and we'll go from there.
Okay, you cast it.
Yeet.
Let me make a see, hide. Don't mind me, just checking.
Scales, you really are a wonder. I'm glad you're with us.
Despite the fact that I would have been far more at home in my little shack and where it was safe, I think I've enjoyed nearly dying several times with you guys. For sure.
Well, nearly dying is not as bad as dying, let me tell you. I know. And anyway, I'm here to keep you from dying, so don't worry about that.
With Meepo's thoughts and prayers, you suddenly get a blip, and the psychic lance shoots off through the wall. That away. Oh, hold on. Wrong layer. That away through the wall.
I'm not seeing
Still
it.
can't see
Oh my
the
gosh.
arrow.
Why? Why can't you see it? Should be on the right layer.
Maybe if we refresh.
Can you see that?
No.
Alright, hang on. I'll have to use the streamer sight arrow.
yeah,
Other
spontaneously
side.
gone blind.
Even though technically I'm going to have to use maneuvering. There. That direction.
Huh.
Through the wall yonder.
There was a tunnel going off south in the room that I had him chasing me from.
You suddenly hear a cackling yelp. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
.76 psychic damage. Ooh, oh.
Okay. You hear a cackling yelp echoing throughout the cavern. You clearly found purchase on something. Clearly your intended target.
Sounds like it's north of us.
We jump him while he's reeling from this?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure, fuck.
Alright.
Running north.
Same. Try to stay ahead of Meepo just because I don't want. I want to be able to stand between that thing and Meepo.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm going to make a very tactically dumb decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a very tactically smart decision, but the mechanics of how it works are quite dumb. And if we're moving north, while I'm in this space right here, I am going to activate my Giant's Might, because I do not have enough room to get big. I stay at my normal size, but it's still in effect.
Now, are you sure you want to do it here and not further in?
So he wants to grow until he's like medium, and not all
Until
the
you're medium. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm trying to prevent myself from going large. So at one of the choke points, if we're kind of doing like a pseudo preparing for combat thing, it might make more sense to do it further up. But yes, the goal I am angling for is to transform in a space where I can't get much bigger.
We probably still have 1 more minute of emboldening bond, by the way.
You might want to... Let's see, you see villains say, you want to do that closer to where the enemy is. I don't think they'll fall for the same trick twice.
Okay, well, we're gonna keep moving up, right?
Yep.
Yes, let's go, let's move.
As long as you guys are within 30 feet of another one of us, then you guys have emboldening bond, probably for the most of this fight.
Okay, and in terms of... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Just looking at some.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
In terms of
Sorry.
something.
What kind of cannon do you guys want? Seems we've.
Hawk, do you need noise to do your stuff?
Nope.
I'm wondering if they need orders from their boss. Or, well, I don't know.
You guys, You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a flamethrower cannon. So I've got a plan. It's going to be a tiny cannon. It's going to sit on my shoulder.
Scales, you coming?
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of feel the call of the void for a minute as like, you look down the hole and you hear a screeching, skittering sound. You're like, ugh! Get out of there.
Wormhole
maybe.
is.
I'm gonna cast this.
Wing.
Ooh. How long does this take? That's too long. Ooh.
Let me double check your stats. Okay.
Oh, do I have a... I don't know.
What do you need?
Oh, no, I can still do it. So, once we've paralyzed the vampire, I have a plan.
Okay.
to keep him paralyzed.
As you enter these tunnels, what's your guys' passive perceptions?
I think it's 11, but it's probably higher.
15.
12.
12?
13.
Oh, it's 15.
13. Because the highest is 15. The caves are scarily quiet as you make your way. You get a good sense of direction of where the creature might be, clearly. You get a sense it has to be perhaps somewhere in the tunnels and caves somewhere down that direction as you head down. But there's no noise.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. Axe.
Yes.
Are we here or are we like here? Where are we?
You guys haven't moved up.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep moving.
Let's move up slowly. Now that we're like approaching in.
Are you attempting to stealth?
Sure, why not? Do a bit of a cheeky sneaky.
Emboldening Bond is on.
Excellent.
Or maybe
So we can
45 more
stealth.
seconds or so.
We can stealth boldly.
Yeah, I have
Boldly, even.
disadvantage on stealth.
That's
I have a
pretty-
hard disadvantage on stealth.
Well, that's fun.
Got a flash of genius for him?
Yeah, sure. You also have a Mulling Bond, so let's see how high this can go.
I got a 7.
Okay, so 7, and then Flash of Genius would be a 5.
You
so-
might as well do that on someone else if we're trying to get like the group stealth check.
I suppose that's
I'll go ahead and hit.
I'm at 14. Scales is at 12, but he's also got Emboldening Bond to roll still.
That is true.
So 14,
14's
14, 16, and then 7.
Okay.
17. Yeah, one of those 14s will be a 19.
So 19, 14, 16, 7.
17. Not 16.
Okay.
I'm mathing wrong there.
And then we'll slowly go behind. You hear a slight shuffle from down this direction, but other than that, it is utterly silent. And you all are making your way quite stealthily, all aiding each other in your own little ways. You are a true team of kobolds. A true pack. You feel your destination is leading you downwards. As you see another staircase descending down. There are tunnels to the north, the northwest, and the northeast. But you have a feeling that is not where your quarry lies.
Okay, let's move. Stealthily. Says Hawks as he clangs his weapons and stuff. And I think, based on the terrain, I think this is the point where I'm going to hit the giant smite.
Gotcha. So you're going to allow everyone else to pass?
What do you mean?
He would end up being medium.
Himself medium.
Oh, right. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I misunderstand every time. Okay, so you become medium. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Also, if you don't mind, can you hold this guy on your shoulder? I'm gonna put the cannon up on Hawks.
Shoulder mounted cannon.
The
Sure.
draconic looking cannon skitters up onto your
Yep.
shoulder.
I
He is a
need
flamethrower.
a
even
shotgun
fire.
and like a bracer with a big spike on it, and Hawks will be the Doom guy. Doom Eternal.
I can swing the arm blade, and I might be able to work up like a blunderbuss. What about like a wand of burning hands? Is that close enough? Maybe Thunderwave?
Eternal. Thunderwave would make more sense for the super shoddy.
Anyway, continuing.
Anyway. Continue downward.
Kales?
You look into the cavern ahead of you, given the angle that you're given. You don't see anyone immediately.
I'm gonna
Ceiling
do
vampires.
something. Actually, no, I'm concentrating on another spell.
Yeah, you're doing Beacon of Hope, right?
How long
Are
does
there
that
ceiling
last?
vampires?
You don't see anything.
Well, House will
Yes,
step out into the
there
room.
are.
Alright? As you step right there, Hawks, it's funny. There is a look of surprise as you see a kobold vampire staring directly at you. You both rolled above each other's passive perceptions.
Oh no!
You surprised each other.
There's no technical surprise here because you all are already kind of aware of each other's presence. It's just a matter
Right.
of gaining advantage from being hidden at this point. But we're going to have to
So
end the session. Go ahead.
He also couldn't surprise me because I have the Storm Rune.
Exactly.
Cannot be surprised.
Can't be surprised. But unfortunately, it is midnight where I am, so we're going to have to call the session here for tonight. It's a thrilling,
Alright.
epic encounter with Tekeli Lee and his vampire kobold companions.
Cool.
Alrighty, well, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out, of course, to Tessa Moorcraft and her wonderful maps on DM's Guild. This whole map was made by her. This giant map must have taken a supremely long time and amount of effort. You can find her on DM's Guild, and I don't have her link on hand specifically for copy paste into chat, but it will certainly be in the YouTube description when this goes on YouTube, along with the wonderful music and his link for Travis Sawa and his album Winter's Wrath, which I have been playing in Takambat. All right, but until next time, though, hope you all are. Oh my gosh, I'm falling apart. I need to go to
Words.
bed. What are words? What is life?
What is love?
What
Have
is
a good
love? Sorry. In any case, goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
A good one.